Hi everyone, Debbie Corso here from emotionallysensitive.com, where you can learn DBT skills from anywhere in the world. So the last video that I did was really successful in terms of you guys were into it. You were appreciating that I had done a review on a really helpful book on BPD. So today I have another one to show you. It's not really a book, it's a planner actually. So this is the Dialectical Behavior Therapy Wellness Planner, 365 Days of Healthy Living for Your Body, Mind, and Spirit by Amanda L. Smith, LMSW. A note about Amanda. She is a licensed social worker who also is in recovery from borderline personality disorder. So she's one of us. She totally gets it. Now she's a professional in the field. She also co-facilitates my classes and I do webinars with her sometimes, so the name might sound very familiar. This is an incredible resource. Let's take a look at it together because I'm excited about this. It's one of my nightstand items that I refer to. It's one of these things that once you get in the habit of it, you will be using it every single day. So let's go ahead and take a look together. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of distortion in perspective just because of the way I have to angle the camera here. But let's go ahead and take a look. So in the beginning of this, so it's spiral bound. It's really nice quality. It has this, it's a bit of a hard stock card and it's laminated. Same thing on the back for the back cover. So then you open it up and in the beginning you have, the foreword. You have the table of contents, and then you actually have a little bit of each of the skill set sections. So she has a little section on mindfulness, one on emotion regulation. Oops, something stuck together. There's plenty in here. Distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and of course interpersonal effectiveness. So essentially you go through at the beginning of the week and you look at these skills that you want to be focusing on. So let me get this in a little bit tighter if I can. There we go. That's a little bit better. So on a weekly basis, you're looking at your physical health, for example, all of these goals and skills to see if you're doing them on a daily basis. There are some for your emotional health, relational or your relationships, and then spiritual. Then each day you have this area to journal and to keep track of which skills you're using. So take a look at Monday here. So you would put the date in and then you would indicate which skills you practice under each of the 4 modules. So any mindfulness skills you practiced, any emotion regulation skills, any distress tolerance, any interpersonal effectiveness. Additional things that you won't find on a traditional diary card are things that I'm thankful for. So taking a few moments when you otherwise wouldn't even think to do so, to list a few things at the end of each day that you're grateful for can have such a positive impact on your mood. We know that they've done studies on gratitude and people talk about it all the time. And I find it to be really true on a personal level too. It's just things I wouldn't have thought to even give a second thought to that make me feel good when I think about them again. It can be really little things too. It doesn't have to be like huge monumental things. And then goals I work towards. So if you have some goals you're working on, this is a really good spot to say, hey, I really work toward XYZ, or I didn't really pay much attention to it. It's something I need to be more mindful of tomorrow and focus on it. So another thing that's really great to think about on a daily basis. I love this. Today's shining moment. Today's shining moment can be a moment where you are incredibly skillful and you're proud of yourself, or it could be that moment when, a baby smiled at you in the grocery store, or you took the time to decompress, chill out, sit on the couch and watch Dancing with the Stars, And then for me, that can be a real shining moment, just to enjoy that time and space without other distractions, letting go of work, letting go of all of that stuff. Whatever it might be for you, there is a shining moment in every day, no matter how small, so acknowledging that can be really good for how we feel as well. Notes and reminders, I usually just jot random things down here because she does such a good job of having all these other categories and spaces to notate things. Now this is an awesome section. So this is days sober or number of days since engaging in a harmful or destructive behavior. So you list it, and then let's say today was the first day you were working on it, you would say, 0 days since, because you just set the goal. But then when you head over to Tuesday the next day, if you made it the whole day without engaging in that harmful behavior or drinking or whatever your goal might be, that you're trying to stay sober or anything like that, you can go ahead and put a 1. So you'd list it again and put 1 day. It's kind of like at UPS or other employers where they have that big sign up and it says 0 days since injuries, since anyone's been injured, 20 days since no one has been injured, or 20 days since an injury, that sort of thing. So you're keeping track of it. Now, I've used this for things like holding back from sending impulsive emails and from other things like that, and I find it really helpful. The thing to remember is if you quote-unquote mess up and you end up doing the item that you're trying to refrain from, is to not completely beat yourself up and berate yourself over it. This is just something to watch. You can then look at what skills did you use that day, what were your vulnerability factors, what's going on that made you less emotionally resilient, that you ended up doing a behavior that you have set an intention to reduce or eliminate. So it's really to give you some information to work with, and then you can talk to your therapist and talk to loved ones about what happened and come up with a plan so that you can be stronger the next day, so that you can have a better fighting chance at achieving that goal of reducing or eliminating that behavior. So another thing I wanted to mention too is, yes, there are diary cards, traditional diary cards, but they don't have all of this information. They don't have that whole health evaluation. Like every month, after you've done about a month's worth of logging, there is something in here where you actually evaluate how you're doing overall, the self-care assessment. So they don't have this on regular diary cards. So looking at all of these things that you've been doing for your physical care, emotional care, relational, and spiritual, getting a score to kind of gauge where you're at. So they don't have that. And the other thing is, in connection with being similar to diary cards, the great thing about this is you're more likely to use something that looks beautiful like this, right? That feels good in your hands. It has that good new book smell, and it has been lasting for me. I love that. That has these questions that gets you feeling better at the end of each day because you realize a few things. One of the things that you will probably realize that I have, and I know others have mentioned, and it's the same thing that happens when you use traditional DBT diary cards, is that you're going to become aware of which skills you're using. And a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit, and we don't even realize that we're using skills throughout the day. But sitting down and actually going through your day and thinking about the challenges you face and what skills you actually use to get through it helps you to acknowledge you actually are being skillful. You're probably using way more skills than you realize. So when you go to therapy, you can actually bring this with you and say, hey, I tried this skill, I did this, I did that. So it's really helpful in that way to just remind you, you are using skills. The other thing that it helps with, I find, which is the same as DBT diary card, sometimes we will see patterns in overutilizing skills. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you're having a really hard time and you're choosing to use distracting as part of distress tolerance. But if you look, and every single day you're distracting and you're using like 5 different skills or 5 different activities to distract, then you might take a look at that and think about it and then talk to your therapist in the context of, I think I might be overutilizing this skill to where it's no longer effective and it's actually not a skillful use of a skill. So it can be really helpful for noticing patterns and things of that nature. So very, very helpful. Again, it's the Dialectical Behavior Therapy Wellness Planner by Amanda L. Smith. And I will put the link to this underneath the video so you can easily click and go get a copy for yourself. If you already have it, let me know what you think. I just think it's wonderful. And if you order it and then you get it and you have some thoughts on it, please also come back to this video and let me know your thoughts because I'd be very, very interested. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the camera now. All right, well, that's it for this particular review. I hope you found this helpful and that you consider getting one of these for yourself and that you do share with me. Again, I'm Debbie Corso from emotionallysensitive.com, where you can learn DBT skills from anywhere in the world. Come study with me. Check out my website. I'm also on social media everywhere. I'm obsessed with Twitter, so you can follow me at DBTPath. I'm on Facebook. I post regularly. I'm under Debbie of DBT Path. So hopefully I will see you on there. See you next time. Bye for now.